Okay, just finishing up part 2, and it's, Randall Shepard had to know about it. I mean, he has to. So when Kel Bradford went before the Judicial Qualifications Commission and got his job, I know that the Chief Justice of the Indiana Supreme Court, Randall Shepard, had to know about it. I know Meg Babcock, who's the counsel for the Judicial Qualifications, had to know about it. So they all knew. And I believe Mitch Daniels knew because I told him in 2006, of course, not to deal with that judge. So, I mean, here we are. We're doing these things in broad daylight, and it's been a while since I did the first part 1 of this video. Since that time, 2 weeks ago, I went to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. I think about the first time that I did that video, because it was Thanksgiving weekend. A few days before I did part 1, I went to the Chief of Police's office downtown on Alabama, went up to the 2nd floor and handed his secretary, or the secretary there, a complaint about them not coming, nobody's been arrested in my shooting. And I believe they know who did it. And I haven't heard from the detective since I got shot. So I went up there to complain, and I handed the lady a complaint. Well, and I told them who I think did it. Well, nobody called, nobody came past my house, or whatever, but something funny did happen. This past Thursday, I think it was around, I think Thursday would have been maybe December the 4th, or something of that nature. It was a Thursday. 2 Indianapolis Metropolitan Police officers knocked on my door. Now, these weren't young cops. These guys were grizzled veterans, and one I know was a sergeant because he was standing down by the steps, and the other officer knocked on my door. And when I opened the door, he gave me some fake name, said it was looking for somebody. And when I told them, no, that person doesn't live here, I live here, the cop immediately turned around and walked away. He didn't ask me for my name, didn't ask me who I was, or what have you. Shortly thereafter, I didn't go back out to my car all night. And that morning, Friday morning on the 5th of December, I noticed somebody, my car door interior lights were on, my glove box was down, and couldn't start my car. Went in, got my jumper unit, didn't think much of it, jumped my car, drove to work. Well, later on that day, after I got off of work, I was looking for my 32 Keltec. It's a P32. It's a 32 caliber semi-automatic handgun, small green pistol grips with a Velcro patch on the side. I couldn't find it. Looked all over the house. It's not here. I know that gun was in my glove box Thursday morning. I know that for a fact. So I went back out to the car, looked all in the car, couldn't find the gun, and then I noticed my black coat was missing from my car, my black parka. But the funny thing is, friends, nothing else was missing. Whoever went into my car and took that gun and that coat out of my car, they could have got me for my radio, my Kenwood. They could have got me for my subs and my amplifier. I mean, they could have really stripped me down. They could have got the leather gloves. They could have got the pair of $100 Marc Jacobs sunglasses. They could have got the hair dryer that a coworker had given me. All of that stuff was left in my car. And y'all know where I live. Anybody walking down my alley, at that time of night or day, would have stripped me clean. But those items were left in my car. And so I don't find it no coincidence that the day that the police come over and knock on my door, my gun and my coat end up missing out of my car. And so I made a police report. I went on, it's Yvonne Ferguson Watkins and Kiki Gaither's Legally Speaking, and said that. And I think Commissioner, there was a commissioner on there that day, Fatute, and then that Saturday, Terry D. had one of our former police officers, chiefs on there, Robert Turner, and I mentioned the situation with her. And then I called Amos Brown's show Monday and set it on that. Now, on that Sunday, I think it's the 6th or the 7th, I think it may have been the 7th, it may be the 6th, but that Sunday, the Starbucks at Fallcreek and College, where I got shot, was robbed again. But guess what, friends? That wasn't in the newspaper. You weren't told about that. Now, why weren't you told about that, friends? Well, Starbucks, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, the Marion County prosecutor, and everybody else connected with the case called and asked the local media stations not to run that story. And the reason they asked them not to run that story is because then you couldn't do a story on the Starbucks having been robbed again, you know, without mentioning my name. And then that would have put all kinds of pressure on the police department to do something. It's the same damn people robbing the store. And they don't live that far away from the store. As a matter of fact, for folks that live in Indianapolis, if you drive past the damn store, you'll see that 2 boards have been ripped out right across from the drive-through board that has the menu on it. Well, that's where they get in. They come through there, rob the store, and run back through that way. It's unbelievable. So that ought to show you right then and there. You haven't been told about that, and that store was robbed again. Now they're getting ready to close the store. And I think that the folk downtown undermine that store. But at any rate, that's what's been going on. And real quickly, you want to talk about political persecution. Like I said, I haven't seen my son in 6 years. I'm up to, this last check that I get, I'm up to $6,800 for the year in child support payments, and have not seen my son. And each month, Carl Brizzi and the Marion County Child Support Office, see, they didn't know that I had these credit alerts. And each time, from starting on the May the 13th, when I was in court for that other case that y'all wasn't told about against the Indianapolis recorder, where Judge Zori, who was also on the ballot, who I don't believe won his election, who I don't believe the vote totals were correctly reported for his election. On that date that I was in his court, or in the court where they were trying to hit me up for $13,000 in legal fees that I haven't been told about, Carl Brizzi reported to the Experian my arrears. Okay, we did it in May, they do it in June, they do it in July, they do it in August, they do it in September, they do it in October, and they do it in November. Report me to the credit bureau as late, even though they know I'm paying $133 a week, $100 and for child support, and then $33 on the rear, yet they report me every week. That's political persecution. I'm going to finish this video up, and then I'm going to get on to my next one about Starbucks. But look, friends, when they talk about Rod Blagojevich and what they're doing up in Illinois, no, we've got plenty of criminals here, and the Indianapolis Star is protecting them. Thank you for watching this video.